Today we're at the Gaza Tribunal. We're joined by Osama Alostta, a Palestinian youth who have been living in Gaza and has his studies cut short inside the Gaza genocide. He was evacuated into Turkey, Istanbul, and now he's completing his studies. And he joined Gaza's Tribunal to talk about his testimony in Gaza as a student and a person who lives there. Osama, could you tell us more about your experience since leaving Gaza? How was it?
It was pretty shocking to me because I thought when I was in Gaza, everything has stopped. Everything that doesn't work, doesn't function. Everything is just waiting for Gaza and for the genocide to end. But once I stepped one foot out of Gaza, I realized that nothing has changed. Nothing did stop for Gaza. Nothing just, or like a small thing that changed. Yes, people do care about Gaza. People do show support for Gazans. But I think Gaza and Gazans need more than that, need more actions. Like, yeah, I understand having flags everywhere, but having the flags doesn't stop the killing. We need to act for that, so we can stop the killing. And that's why we are here in the tribunal, to collect academics, collect everything that we could do, to do everything that stop the genocide. And I hope one day we can have a global strike, not just for only a couple of hours, not just days, until everything changes, until we get Gaza back, rebuilt, and ready to have its people again.
Inshallah. Osama, could you tell us more about your experience since leaving Gaza military? I met many friends of mine who left Gaza within the genocide, and it was exhausting for them to imagine and know that their families are still there. People in Gaza are still there in that stopped world of death and massacre and genocide, while they are surviving outside. So the guilt consumed them. What about you? How has it been since you left Gaza?
It took me pretty much time to realize the shock that I'm living, because when I was in Gaza, I was just living to survive. I was not thinking about anything else. And I thought, yeah, it's not easy, but I think it's also, you just have one mission to focus on. While you are away from Gaza, living, having your family behind in Gaza, you don't know, you can't reach out for them. You reach out for them, but you cannot just call or know or have any news about them. And it could take days. You try to call, you try to do everything, but it's not really easy. But also, it took me time to start knowing that, okay, I might having a PTSD, or I might have different disorders that the science still doesn't know. And I was attended to a session or a kind of workshop, and the professor was saying that we don't know how to deal with Gazas right now, because this is a thing that never happened before, and also never happened in the modern time of our life, So I try to get mental support, but the more I talk, the more it gets triggery. It's not helping. It's not doing anything. Yes, I appreciate the support. I appreciate everything, but I still don't know. Until today, it's been a year and a half almost since I left Gaza, but still I don't really know how to deal with that. I'm still also kind of suffering to accept the truth that nothing has stopped for Gaza. Nothing has changed for people's life. Yes, they might have been changed in the way they think about the world, but unfortunately, this didn't change for Gazans. It's just getting worse and worse. Also, I wish people could come up with some thing or just a treatment for Gazans that it really could help the genocide survivors and the Gazans who are still going through the genocide.
Yeah, when you're talking about your experience of the cut of electricity, not able to communicate with your family and talk with them, that reminds me with my time with my family and husband in Gaza, and with the blackout, the social blackout. One of it stayed for about 8 days and nights. I wasn't able to know anything about them. Bombardments continued all the time, and I was just consumed with that one idea that they are bombarded, they were killed, and I don't know about that, and I can't ask for help because I can't reach anyone. And I remember at that time I was in London, I had an event, and I tried to call, nothing at all. And then I just went to the streets of London, walking, screaming and tearing my eyes out, and it was raining all over me. And I couldn't feel anything. I just wanted one single thing, to be able to talk.
To hear
Get-
from them. Yeah, I really understand your point. Exactly what do you mean? And yeah, I feel sometimes it's hard to speak to non-Gazas. It's not because they're like not would like not be affected emotionally, no, but they wouldn't really relate to what I'm talking about. And one thing I really hate that like to be looked dehumanized and like the pathetic way that people might see you. But also in the same 8 days experience, I think we had more, but like as the different days but it's also very hard for Gazans inside Gaza to have a blackout happening for on communication because they might target the next door to you, or sometimes like they ask people to evacuate and you have no idea who's evacuating. It might be me who should evacuate, but I don't know. It's very hard. Or like you want to reach out for someone to ask for something like just essential that you need, and you don't like you cannot just go to them because they might be living pretty far, or you don't want to take the risk that long, and then they don't have whatever like looking for. So it must be hard, and sometimes you just got nothing but to like play on the social media, go over everything, and then just to try to disconnect from what is happening on real life.
To the wall.
Yeah, to be connected more. You have like also friends who are worried about you. You have to keep them updated.
Yeah.
But when you are disconnected and displaced, you have nothing to do, and then
It's much more difficult in Gaza because the genocide is actually happening. At that time, when people got injured and bombarded, they were not even able to call ambulances at civil defense. And people had to carry them over their shoulders or to go to the hospital, telling them that there was a bombardment at that area and please come with us. And when I talked after like this 8 days of blackout, among other blackouts with my family, they told me because my family were like separated in different areas, they told me they couldn't even check on my siblings or other siblings living in other areas, not very far away. It was so small, but they couldn't even check on them. So it wasn't just me not able to check on my family inside.
Yeah.
Even people inside had no idea.
Yeah, Gazans within Gaza don't have any possibility of communicating unless you have to walk or just do some slow transportation that we never had. Like, I never had like this experience, but like you need to travel to some area. It would take you 3 hours because the streets are very crowded, tents everywhere. Then like the view that you are seeing while just moving is also heartbreaking because we were living in a good, not like the best life that because we are like still under occupation, under siege for years, but having people living in tents, like I thought that like this happened in 1948 and would never happen again, but we are living a second Nakba, and I have nothing, like I don't know what to say about this because every time something comes up, it triggers something that I can relate to, and yeah, I have been there. But when you go like in this for 2 years, I can't imagine. I hope that it just ends very soon, and I hope the occupation will just end and this empire will fall.
Inshallah, we hope the ceasefire stay on, and also no more bombardments happen on Palestinians in the South Bank or anywhere, and the occupation to end, as the colonialism to be smattered. Other than that, this genocide will be repeated, not just in Gaza, but every single other place where Israel have impunity to kill.
Yeah, and so far they targeted more than 7 countries,
Yes.
and they bombed the flotilla boats. So
Impunity and sadness.
yeah,
They feel they can do whatever they want. Thank you so much, Osama. It was so lovely speaking with you. Also, though very horrific to speak about all those things, but it's something the world must know. and here, specifically that we're at Gaza Tribunal. Thank you so much for your time.